Hello and welcome to Alarm Academy. Today I'd like to talk to you about the noisemakers and the flashy parts of the fire alarm system. We'll be discussing notification appliances on today's episode of Alarm Academy. Hello and welcome to Alarm Academy. My name is Christina and today we'll be discussing notification appliances. How do they work? Must they sound like that? Why are they so obtrusive? So what is a notification appliance? Essentially, it's any component in a fire alarm system that is designed to capture the attention of the building occupants. You are probably already familiar with horns, speakers, and strobes, which are the most common notification appliances used to signal evacuation. You may find it surprising that those are not the only notification appliances that exist in the fire alarm world. From this point on, I'll be referring to notification appliances as NACs. NAC stands for Notification Appliance Circuit, and we often use this acronym to refer to notification appliances and other related equipment because everyone loves a good acronym. Before we get into the types of NAC devices, it's important to understand three common types of fire alarm systems that use these devices. Typical fire alarm systems. These are the systems most people are familiar with. They'll typically signal evacuation using tones rather than speech. These systems will usually use horns, strobes, chimes, and/or bells to encourage building occupants to evacuate in the event of a fire. EVAC systems. EVAC stands for Emergency Voice Alarm Communication. These systems will usually provide pre-recorded verbal instructions for evacuation in the event of a fire. Rather than using honks and warbles and whatever other sounds, these will just simply tell you how to evacuate using a verbal message. Mass notification systems. These systems are similar to EVAC systems, except they can also provide instructions for other emergencies, such as tornadoes, active shooter, chemical spills, and many other concerns that may be specific to the site. Much like an EVAC system, these systems also use speakers and strobes for this purpose, but the devices will typically be labeled alert instead of fire, at least if you're in similar jurisdictions as I am, which is in the United States. Now let's talk about the specific devices and how they work. Strobes are flashing lights and are connected to a circuit called the Notification Appliance Circuit. When an alarm system is activated, the Notification Appliance Circuit will turn on and supply power to devices on the Notification Appliance Circuit. When the power reaches a strobe, it causes the strobe to flash rhythmically. Strobes are required to be synchronized in order to prevent seizures in those who have photosensitive epilepsy or other conditions that may be aggravated by unsynchronized strobing lights. Strobes can be independent or attached to an audible device such as horns, chimes, or speakers. Horns and chimes are audible devices that will typically play the internationally accepted temporal tritone, aka Chimes are like horns, but instead of that abrasive sound, they play a softer chime tone at a lower frequency than a horn. Chimes are most commonly seen in medical facilities as they are less likely to cause issues in patients that may experience negative symptoms when exposed to the jarring noise of a horn. Horns can also come in lower frequencies, but those are typically seen in apartments and other residential applications like a hotel where somebody might be sleeping. Lower frequency tones have been shown to be more effective at waking people from sleep, especially those with hearing difficulties. Horns and chimes also connect to the Notification Appliance Circuit. When power flows through the circuit, it causes the device to play the designated tone, whether it's the temporal tritone, a steady tone, or 4 beats that often indicate a high carbon monoxide condition. Bells are the classic round metal devices that use a hammer to bang on a metal surface to generate a tang 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 sound like you might hear at school in between classes. These are usually found in older buildings or attached to sprinkler risers to indicate to the fire department that water is flowing through the sprinkler system. Speakers are just like any other speaker, but they have more strict requirements on functionality and intelligibility. Often jurisdictions will require an intelligibility test, during which a tone-generating device is connected to the input of the EVAC panel or mass notification panel. The inspector will walk around the building with a device with a microphone that compares the sound coming from the building's speakers to the sound that the tone generator is creating to make sure that they match up. If the test goes well, this is a pretty good indication that when the verbal message is played, it will be clearly intelligible or understandable to the building occupants when the alarm is activated. Textual displays are a less common notification appliance in my experience. I've typically seen them in mass notification systems and in particular in government buildings or on military bases. They are LED signs that can display scrolling text and are usually mounted above building exits and entrances to stairwells. They will typically display the message that is being played over the speakers in text for those who may be better served by reading the message rather than hearing it, making this a popular choice for sites that strive to be especially accessible. So what should you do if a NAC device has been activated? The answer is as obvious as you think it is. You should evacuate the building unless the system is directly instructing you to do otherwise. Mass notification systems may instruct you to seek shelter, so be sure to listen to and follow the directions that are provided to you by that system. Fire alarm systems also get your attention and assist in evacuation in other ways, such as shutting down movie theater projectors, recalling elevators, turning on building lighting, and shutting down HVAC units, all of which will be covered in a future video about how fire alarm systems use relays to do all of these things and more. Let's review. A notification appliance is a device that is intended to get the attention of the building occupants. They can include devices such as horns, strobes, chimes, bells, speakers, and textual displays, depending on the type of system that they're attached to. Typical fire alarm systems will usually have tone-based NAC devices. EVAC and mass notification systems will usually have speakers that issue verbal commands and will sometimes include textual displays for hearing impaired people. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Alarm Academy. If you found this video to be informative or interesting, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and/or share this video with your friends. If there are any other alarm-related topics you'd like me to cover on this channel, please let me know in the comments below and I'll see what I can do. Thanks again, and stay alarming, my friends. As you may have noticed, I am wearing a notification appliance dress that I had custom made just for this video. Let me know in the comments if you want me to start a merch store so I can do t-shirts and stuff.